What's up? What's up? Hope everybody's doing well. I'm gonna wait till everybody get in here so I can start talking to you guys. Hopefully, you guys are doing well despite the loss. I know it's not what we wanted, but you know, it is what it is. Otherwise, that man, I just hope everybody's doing well. We're gonna get into this in a minute, all right? Trust and believe. We about to get into this. Just waiting for a couple of more people to come in, and then we all set. All right. Stephen Baldwin, excuse me. You definitely right, man. You definitely right. Steve Baldwin said it was a good game, but as usual, we waste too much energy playing catch up, and it cost us. Yes, it did, man. The Knicks did not start this game off well. I'll tell you that much. So, you know, as you know, everybody coming in here to join, and again, I want to say welcome. And thank you for joining my channel. If you're new to the channel and you want to support, please hit that like button. And not only that, I ask you to please hit that subscribe button as well. So let's get into it. Excuse me. How did everything turn out for the New York Knicks? Well, the Knicks, they started slow. And when I say they started slow, I mean they really started slow. They allowed the Raptors to get up as much as 20 points. And all this happened in the first quarter. The first quarter, y'all. And this was mainly due to poor shooting, no defense, and plenty of turnovers. 10 to be exact. I mean, to say that it was unbearable, to be honest, that will really be an understatement. It was terrible, fam. It was horrible to watch in the first quarter. And from then on, I knew that it was going to be an uphill climb for the Knicks. But the Knicks found life in the second quarter off the backs of Obi Toppin, who dropped 10, and the second unit. And they managed to tie the game up before going back down by 8 to end the half. Now, I must say, I like the comeback. But when you in that type of situation, you have to take the lead. When Obi Toppin was having the game that he was having, you could already see that the Raptors lost all of their fire at that moment. And that's when you put the dagger in their heart. Too many times we've seen the New York Knicks, when they're building momentum, when they're playing the way that they are supposed to play, they lose momentum. And I have to be honest. The only reason why they started losing momentum is because, and I'm not trying to blame this whole thing on Julius Randle, but I could only tell you what I saw. When Julius Randle comes in the game, the ball tends to stop. When Julius Randle is not in the game, the ball tends to move. And when the ball tends to move, the Knicks are playing winning basketball. When the ball tends to move, the Knicks offense looks great. When the ball tends to move, the Knicks are more liable to score, and in turn be able to return to the defensive end and do what they have to do. Now, how can I say this? But you know what? Let's just continue on, and I'll tell you, and I'll get to that, after I say what I have to say. You know, the Raptors ended up coming back and leading by 4. And I was okay with that. I was looking at that as like, the Knicks, they came back. They was down by 20. We down by 4 at halftime. Hopefully the Knicks can come in to the second half with a lot of energy. And they did. I have to say that it was fueled by RJ Barrett, Nerlens Noel with the and one play, and Randall too. And the Knicks went on to go on a 8-2 run. But that was again followed up by what? Julius Randle ball hogging. And then they finally, through the battle, ended up finishing the third quarter only down by 4 again. Now, I won't say that the fourth quarter started good with us. It came in with the Knicks going down by as much as 7 points. I know, man. White Falcon, man, I'm hurt too, bro. I'm hurt too. White Falcon said Rose, RJ, PG 13, Obi, Mitch. Kemba, Fournier, Knox, Sims, Taj, McBride, IQ, Grimes. It's time to trade your boys. Randall, Noel, Burks, and picks for PG 13. Man, we already know the Clippers ain't going for that. The Clippers is not, I mean, PG has been performing so well this year. And they've been pretty much quiet, even though they don't have the best record in the West. I know for a fact that the Clippers is not about to let Paul George go. So I mean, I wish. I really do. I wish, but we gonna get to that later on because I want to ask you guys. You already know that, and like I said, if you're new to the channel and you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. Please link in with your boy. You know I'm dropping videos all the time, almost every day for you guys. Why? Because not only do I want to get my opinions across, but I also want you guys to comment and get your opinions across because that's what matters right now. It's just not about me. But like I said, the Knicks didn't start the fourth quarter off good. They let the Raptors go up by 7. But I have to say that the determination of Obi Toppin and RJ Barrett fused together does wonders for the Knicks. These two are the future of the Knicks. When Kemba is gone, when Randall is gone, when Fournier is gone, when Rose is gone, when Taj is gone, you can bet your bottom dollar. I hope. Now, this is something that I hope, guys. I mean, man, I am thinking about it, man. White Falcon said, think about it. I would love that. Trust and believe, man. I would love that if PG 13. And I have to admit, the lane that I'm kind of in right now, I'm the outside of RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, Obi Toppin, and Mitchell Robinson. I'm not worried about who the Knicks trade, to be honest with you, because I see the most promise with those guys. I see the most drive with those guys. I see no fear coming from those guys. And RJ Barrett got fouled on that last 3-point shot, guys. They didn't give it to him because I believe the buzzer had already sounded. But RJ Barrett got fouled by Siakam on that last shot, man. But, it is what it is, and we have to live with it at the end of the day. Our team is now 12-14. We are 2 games under 500. So the question right now is, what do we do? How do we come from this? You get what I mean? How do we get back from where we at? Now, I have to say this. I did like Tibbs' rotation in the second quarter where they started with RJ Barrett. And I've been saying this for a long time that I've been waiting for the Knicks to really stagger his minutes and let him get some run with the younger guys because at the end of the day, RJ Barrett is a runner, man. Yeah, he did, man. He did. Real music, man. Real music. But hold on, let me move this. Hopefully you guys are hearing me better. But yeah, overall, man, I mean, I love what I saw from RJ Barrett, and I love what I saw from Obi Toppin. And I like that rotation that Tibbs does, where he'll take RJ Barrett out a little bit, or he'll let him finish the first quarter and then start him, or take him out a little bit and then bring him in the second quarter with the second unit. I believe that is the way to go with RJ Barrett. You get what I mean? White Falcon says when Kawhi comes back, PG-13 will be Robin again. Laughing mad loud. PG-13 in New York will be Batman. RJ will be Robin. RJ needs a mentor. I agree. And the thing about how much I agree with you on that White Falcon is RJ is similar to Paul George. The only thing I will defer from RJ can become Paul George, basically what I'm saying. I doubt it. I doubt that he will ever get the flight that Paul George, because you remember when Paul George first came into the league, he was a high flyer with him, Roy Hibbert, George, Lance Stevenson. When they was with the Pacer with Frank Vogel, they was not a bad team. We have to admit that. They kept running into LeBron, but they were not a bad team. And yes, I agree with you. When Kawhi comes back, Paul George will become a Robin, but he's a heck of a Robin. You get what I mean? So I don't see, the Clippers really letting him go. RJ is a shooting guard. RJ is shooting guard. Paul George. We need an hold on. I'm gonna put this up on the screen so everybody can see it. Said RJ is a shooting guard. Paul George. We need an actual 6'8" small forward. Paul George. Matter of fact, Paul George is 6'8", but I still will put RJ Barrett 6'7". So I mean, he only an inch off. I mean, I don't have a problem with RJ Barrett playing the small forward. I think that he's upped his defense. I think that he's you know gained enough mass with his body to where he can control players that try to. You think RJ 6'6"? Man, I could have swore it said RJ was 6'7". I could have swore, but I've heard RJ was 6'6" too, but I think RJ about maybe he is 6'6", man. When it's that 6'6" to 6'8" range is always kind of hard to tell with basketball players. Just like a 6'3" to 6'1" player is kind of hard to tell they size and how what they height is. But if you say RJ 6'6", man, I'll live with it. I thought he was 6'7", but either way, RJ Barrett still can be a successful small forward. And I don't believe that RJ Barrett fits good at the shooting guard spot. Why? Because RJ Barrett is not that fast. You get what I'm saying? RJ Barrett is not gonna be able to keep up with smaller, faster guards. You got guards like CJ McCollum, who is like 6'2", 6'3", who will blow past RJ Barrett. I believe that with RJ Barrett gaining the muscles that he's gained, I believe that he's more fit to guard small forwards. Now, if you got a big small forward, let's say 6'9", like LeBron James and all that, you're gonna have to put a power forward on him and let RJ Barrett stick a smaller guard. But if you got a 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" small forward, RJ Barrett gonna be able to guard him in my book. That's how I feel. Now, speaking of RJ Barrett finished with 19 points, 6 rebounds, and 1 assist. And as far as RJ's game, I love when RJ Barrett drives to the hoop because he not only puts pressure on the defense, and if you notice lately, RJ Barrett's been drawing a lot of fouls. That is awesome. I love to see that. I love for him to attack the rim because I believe that the more he attacks, the more his scoring average will go up and the more he's more likely to get a foul. And what was RJ Barrett's from the free throw line? He shot RJ Barrett was hold on. RJ Barrett was hold on, guys. I'm trying to get these stats for you because I didn't even check and see how many jump balls he got. RJ Barrett was 7 of 8 from the free throw line, guys. 7 of 8 from the free throw line. So I'm telling you, when RJ Barrett attacks the rim, RJ Barrett is marvelous because not only is he going to draw the foul, but he's also going to open the floor for other players because the more he attacks the rim, the more he's liable to make it, the more he's liable to dish it out to a three-point shooter to get the open three because he's collapsing the defense. And, it just makes the game better. You get what I'm saying? So I love RJ Barrett attacking the rim and going for broke and willing to take that contact and get the foul. You get what I'm saying? Now, White Falcon says all we need is PG-13 with these kids. Man, I don't see how that's going to work, man. I don't see what it all depends on what you're giving up. You can't give up Julius Randle to them because they got Kawhi Leonard. Now, Kawhi Leonard is interchangeable between the small forward and the power forward, but at the end of the day, excuse me, I don't believe that they given up PG-13 for anybody right now. I think they're going to hold on to him because they feel that him and Kawhi Leonard is going to bring them a championship. And I'm okay with that because I believe that they have the ability to do it too. Hold on, guys. My dog is coming. My dog. Come on, girl. Come on. Okay, no. Go upstairs. Go upstairs. Go upstairs. Go upstairs. Go upstairs, girl. Look how many blunders I'm having in this stream with you guys. So you know this is serious. But yeah, like I was saying, man, I wish that we could get, Paul George, but I doubt that that's going to happen. Now, man, Kawhi, White Falcon going in. White Falcon said Kawhi going to get hurt again. Bro, as much as I want to say, no, he's not, I can't. I wouldn't put my top dollar on it. I wouldn't put my last dollar on it. I wouldn't put no dollar on it because it's a guarantee, most likely, that Kawhi Leonard is going to get injured again. That's sad, but it's true. Now, but let's talk about Randle. Now, there were some things that I liked about Randle's game today, but there was also things that I really hated. So Randle finished with 13 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 assists. Now, like I said, his overall game wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either. And his defense today was suspect. Now, in the beginning of the game, you could see that Randle was pressing it, and they had their type of offense that, well, he was playing his type of offense. So, Randle started out with his isolation in the first half, but it wasn't working for him. So I liked it when he came out in the third and he was willing to make the easy pass. And not only that, I liked the fact that he was able to drive to the basket and be able to get some buckets and get some fouls. Now, did he go back to his usual self and start isolating the ball and Van Vliet kept poking it out of his hand? Yeah. But I felt like he quickly gave it up after he seen that it wasn't going to get him nowhere. So that's one thing that I was happy for with Julius Randle tonight, that he wasn't ball hogging the way that he usually do. And what was the result of that? You had RJ Barrett being able to score high. I mean, Randall wasn't on White Falcon trolling, but I'm gonna repeat what you said. He said Randall is great. Randall is not great. Randall's good, but Randall is not great. Because if it wasn't for Randall, who left when we was only down two, and he left Van Vliet wide open from three, that's what really hurt us. It took away our momentum. It took away our drive. You said trolling. Randall has no hold on, I'm gonna bring it up. You said trolling. Randall has no defenders. I just told you two times, bro, where Van Vliet, where Randall was dribbling as always into double teams, and Van Vliet came out and poked the ball away from Randall two times. Not to mention where Randall tripped over his own feet and fumbled the pass to Noel, who couldn't get the accurate dunk, even though I believe Noel should have got that shot. But it was a fumble play, and he wasn't even really ready for it. You get what I'm saying? And no, I'm not trying to go on no Randall rant, but I'm just telling you what I saw in the game. And I believe that he gave up pivotal shots at the wrong moments, and it hurt the Knicks. I have to be honest. Sorry, I had to scream at my dog. But anyways, yeah, like I was saying, man, those two steals from Van Vliet in the way that Randall was letting Siakam take those open mid-range shots, something that he's accustomed to hitting, those was blunders by the leader of our team. But I won't blame it all on Randall. Why? Because it wasn't really it wasn't really Siakam who killed us. Who killed us today? Come on, White Falcon. He said Randall had Burks 1 point. Yeah, oh, trust and believe. I was gonna get the Burks. Trust and believe. And Fournier laugh out loud. What he supposed to do? Pass the ball to RJ Barrett. You could already see, we've witnessed over the last few games when they run. You know what? Let me just you know what? I'm gonna just say it. What do the Knicks really need to do as far as offense? And I'm gonna tell you, plain and simple, what the Knicks need to do. Our defense killed up. Bro, I don't know what you talking about, White Falcon. I don't know what you talking about, bro. But our defense was terrible because, like I was going to say, it wasn't Siakam who killed us. It was Gary Trent Jr. who scored, I think, 24 points. Who was guarding him? I have to admit, it was Evan Fournier. Evan Fournier hasn't been able to keep a guard in front of him all season. Oh, you said our defense, yeah, trust and believe. because that's what I was going to come to. That was the question. What was the reason we lost this game? In period, it was because we couldn't defend. Why? Because Gary Trent Jr. was killing Fournier. And we have to blame Burks too, because he wasn't keeping up with Van Vliet. And I hated what the Knicks was doing. And I'm not going to necessarily blame Tom Thibodeau because it's in-game action. And when it happens, it just happens and you have to deal with it. I hated the switching that the Knicks was doing with Derrick Rose having to guard Siakam, because that is what left us open, left Van Vliet open for that wide open three, which really did hurt us. It hurt us, point blank period. Our defense is what portrayed us, but our defense wasn't really what portrayed us in the first quarter. It was there. Our defense was kind of lacking in the first quarter, but what really killed us was the 10 turnovers in the first quarter, not being able to hit shots, settling for long range threes when you could just drive to the basket and get the foul. We seen RJ Barrett do this all game. He was 7 of 8 from the free throw line. What is that telling you? That they can't, if I see that you guys are fouling one player too much, what am I going to do? As a coach, I'm going to tell everybody to drive. And I'm pretty sure that's what Tom Thibodeau did. Why? Because you start seeing everybody drive in the second half, including Randall. Burks, he just didn't show up today. I have to admit that Burks did not show up today. Now, will I blame it all on Burks? And better yet, I'll ask you. Those of you who are watching, I ask you this. Is Burks the right guy to start for the Knicks? Is Burks the right player to be a starter for the Knicks? We seen him have a couple of good games, one where he scored like 30 and then he went on to average 18. He was putting up, I think the other one game he had 12, then he had 18 the next game. In the last two games, he's been pretty, he's been missing. So I ask you, is Burks right? Should Burks continue to start for the New York Knicks? It's an easy question. And it's an easy answer. And I ask you, those of you who are watching, and yes, again, I'm going to ask you, if you are new to the channel and you just viewing this for the first time and you want to support, please do me a favor and smash that like button. And please hit a like on this video and share to those who you feel will also like my work. So I'll ask you again, before I give you my input and my answer of how I feel. Is Burks right for the starting unit? White Falcon says not at all. Whose idea was it to put Burks at point guard? Well, you know who idea was. It was Tom Thibodeau's idea. So that's something that we have to live at this time. But I like your answer, but I will respectfully disagree. Why? Because it's really not Burks who is hurting us on our offense. Sure, He didn't put up a lot of points today. Sure, he didn't put up a lot of points last game, but overall, Burks has been good for the Knicks offense. Smaller guards find it harder to shoot over him. He is not a heavy liability on the defensive end. He's a willing passer. Sometimes he can, have a head of steam and want to go get a bucket. And sometimes he puts up bad shots. I'll admit that. But overall, Burks is not the problem to this team. So when I ask you guys, is Burks right for the starter? Not really, in my opinion, because if you really look at the way Burks have been playing, it's not Burks who, he wasn't fast enough. Hold on, White Falcon, because I want to answer this. White Falcon says smaller, younger guards are killing him. I seen Burks when we played Atlanta. He was keeping Trae Young from killing us. And I'm not saying that Trae Young didn't get his points, but he wasn't effective enough to be able to get the lob off to Quint Capella. He wasn't effective enough to get the lob off to John Collins too many times. And also, when we played Brooklyn, Patty Mills, even though he hit a couple of shots, he wasn't effective like he's been in their other games. Why? Because we had Burks on him. Burks is a bigger player. He's a shooting guard. So a smaller guard, because Burks is like 6'6", 6'7". So a smaller guard like Trey Burks or Curry or, Patty Mills, they're going to have a hard time shooting over him. So I have to respectfully disagree with you, White Falcon. Why? Because I don't feel that Burks is the problem. Our problem lies with Evan Fournier. He's not a good defender. He cannot keep players in front of him. Simple and plain. And what makes it even worse is that Evan Fournier is not producing well enough on the offensive end to be able to make up for his mishaps on the defensive end. You get what I'm saying to you? If he was averaging 19, 20-some points per game, but the player on him scored 15 points because he's a defensive liability, I can live with that. But because he's only averaging 12 points per game and the player that he's guarding is putting up, this is what I'm telling you. Because we have to help too much on Evan Fournier. Everybody has to take over for Fournier because guards already know what to do with him. As soon as they get the ball and he's the one who's guarding you, what is the first thing that they do? They attack the basket. Why? Because Evan Fournier, for some odd reason, cannot stay in front of the man he's guarding, which in turns makes them break down our defense, leaving our bigs and Julius Randle to the Wolves. And next thing you know, they break down the defense, pass it out to players, and next thing you know, the people are hitting threes. Evan Fournier has been the thorn in our Achilles. He's been a thorn in the Knicks' foot because his defense is not up to par yet. Yes, I agree. White Falcon says, laugh out loud, Fournier. He's a role player. And true indeed he is. And that's what the Knicks are actually asking him to be. But I don't think that the front office knew that Evan Fournier would be this bad. because he's not just bad on offense, he's especially bad on defense. So when I say that Alex Burke is not the problem with the Knicks offense, in that he potentially is right for the Knicks offense, what does that do with solving the Knicks problem? The answer is easy. We have to suck it up and realize that we made a mistake with Evan Fournier. Now, how do we fix that? It can be via trade. It could even be replacing him with someone off the bench. I believe that Kemba Walker is a better defender than Evan Fournier. I'll let that sink in for y'all. White Falcon says Burks has to score like Rose if he's going to be a point guard. He's too passive. Uh, uh, I want to say that Burks is too passive. Burks take his shots. Burks will drive in there, fumble the ball, and take a crazy shot and make it. I believe that Burks needs to stop taking bad shots. He takes a lot of off balance shots. White Falcon then said Kemba is a better defender than Evan Fournier. Absolutely. And yes, he is. Why? Because Kemba Walker is bad fighting over screens, right? But in addition to being bad at fighting over screens, is that a lot of times he's able to get moving screens, especially when they knock him off his feet so much and he's falling to the floor. You get what I'm saying? So yes, I believe in my heart that we need to take Evan Fournier out and maybe insert Kemba Walker, because when you look at the totality, we know Kemba Walker can score. He may be a defensive liability, but what does he do to make up for his defensive liability because of mainly his size? He uses his size to his advantage to get offensive fouls. Sometimes when you White Falcon said Kemba stays in front of his man consistently, he would be a great six man. No, buddy. I believe that Kemba Walker, if he was going to play, I do believe that Kemba Walker should start. I don't believe that Kemba Walker would suit us well coming off the bench, especially with the connection that Derrick Rose, Emmanuel Quickly, Obi Toppin them have. Bringing Kemba into that fold it'll be too much of a defensive liability, especially if you're going to keep Derrick Rose in the second unit with Kemba Walker. Now, bringing Derrick Rose to the starting lineup and placing Kemba Walker in the second unit might help, but I think it will still be kind of a little bad. I would rather see Kemba Walker play in the starting unit because I believe that Kemba Walker, in his own right, is a starter. I believe that he's a capable starter. Sure, some nights he's not going to be able to hit shots like he usually do, but on most occasion, Kemba Walker is going to get you some points. And not only that, Kemba Walker draws fouls. Evan Fournier doesn't draw that many fouls because why? He's continuously trying to shoot a three or a mid-range shot. Kemba Walker attacks the basket. This is what Kemba Walker does. White Falcon said, I would rather Rose start. Laugh out loud. That's why I said Kemba as a sixth man. Yeah, I could see that, but I also see that ruining the chemistry that the second unit has, because Rose is the facilitator on there. I don't believe that Kemba Walker can coexist with those guys as better as Derrick Rose has, you know. So when I say that I'd rather have Kemba Walker on the starting unit and keep Derrick Rose on the bench, it will be mainly because of chemistry. I mean, he's been with these guys since last season. They have a chemistry together. You get what I mean? So bringing him to the starting unit, even though it may help, but we're not going to sit up here and act like Derrick Rose is a stout defender. Derrick Rose, yeah, he get a couple of blocks and get a couple of steals every now and then, but Derrick Rose is kind of a liability on the defensive end as well, especially when it comes to bigger guards. And we've seen how he does, like with tonight, with him guarding Fred VanVleet. They kept hitting him with the screen, putting Siakam on him. And then Julius Randle had to guard Fred VanVleet, which he didn't take. Apparently, he didn't feel no emergency with that because he was just sitting there letting Fred VanVleet be open from three. And it wasn't just the time that Fred VanVleet hit that big three. I saw Julius Randle do that a couple of times with him. So we're not going to sit up here and act like Derrick Rose is just some awesome defender and he could be able to guard. No. To be honest with you, I feel that Kemba Walker get more offensive fouls than Derrick Rose. Even though Derrick Rose, I think the offensive foul that Derrick Rose got tonight was his first offensive foul. When Kemba Walker has got a few offensive fouls, not only on the screen, but when players are driving to the basket. So, yeah, I have to respectfully disagree with that. I believe if we are to change the starting lineup, in addition to taking Fournier out of the starting lineup, I feel that we should implement Kemba Walker into the lineup because I feel that it still works out. And I feel that it could still work out between him, RJ Barrett, and Julius Randle. White Falcon said, will D Rose ever start for us? I'm pretty sure he has started for us. Didn't he? Yeah. He started when Kemba Walker had one of his games and he was out. Derrick Rose was started for us. So, I mean, I don't know where we go from there. You get what I'm saying? Now, another question that I should ask again, even though I alluded to it earlier, I want to ask who should we really run the offense through? And this right here is a serious question because we have one offense that we use. You said if Fournier sits, who will replace him? I think Burks is the more reliable player to replace Fournier, especially if you're going to bring Kemba Walker in. I believe that you let. No, I don't. I told you I would rather. Oh, are you saying RJ Barrett? Yes, and I completely agree with you. When I asked the question of who should we run the offense through, White Falcon said RJ Barrett. And I completely agree with you, bro. Because like I was saying earlier, when RJ Barrett has the ball, what is RJ Barrett trying to do? He's attacking. He's attacking the basket, either going to draw the foul, dish it to the big, or dish it out for the three. You already know what RJ Barrett is going to do when he has the ball, besides pass it to Julius Randle. But RJ Barrett has the handle and the speed to be able to break down defenses and not only score or get the foul, but get other players open. This is what we're witnessing. We are witnessing right now the evolution of RJ Barrett. You guys already know that I made the video about telling Tibbs to give RJ Barrett the keys. And when I said that, I said it for exactly these reasons. Because RJ Barrett breaks down the defense better than Julius Randle does. Yes, Julius Randle does post up. But while Julius Randle was post up, you have other players that's sitting on Julius Randle, knowing what he's going to do, knowing where his passes is going to land. You get what I'm saying? Julius Randle has to mix up his game, and he has to an extent to where he attacks the basket more and face the offense, not back up, not post up the offense, but face the offense. White Falcon then said, whose team is this? Well, it's pretty obvious that it's Julius Randle's team, but just because it may be your team doesn't mean that the offense has to run through you. The Warriors is Steph Curry's team, but the offense doesn't always run through Curry. They run it through Green. They run it through Poole. Sometimes I've seen Andrew Wiggins bring the ball up. And like always, sometimes I've seen Curry bring the ball up. So it's not about whose team it is. It's about what do you do to start your offense. And what I've realized is when RJ Barrett is bringing the ball up, he's pressuring the defense. Now look at the plays. Look at what I think I'm going to do a video. I think I'm going to do a video with RJ showing you guys how RJ's offense differs from Julius Randle's offense, because Julius Randle's offense is more predictable than RJ Barrett's. RJ Barrett, you know he's going to attack the basket, but what are you going to do to stop him? And once you are able to remove him from scoring, how you going to stop the big? Because you know your big, he's going to make your big collapse. And as we've already seen with RJ Barrett, if he collapses your big, RJ Barrett is a willing passer. You get what I'm saying to you? It's not like RJ Barrett is selfish. It's not like when RJ Barrett bring the ball up, he's thinking strictly for himself. No, RJ Barrett is a willing passer. Is Julius Randle a willing passer? I would disagree. I believe that Julius Randle wants to get his first and then he'll pass to you. He'd rather get his first, and if his is not working out, then he'll pass. So running the offense through Julius Randle will not lead to anything. Why do other players score a lot when Julius Randle does not score a lot? Why are the majority of our wins based on when Julius Randle is not having a high scoring game? Not saying that he hasn't had a high scoring game when we have won, but I'm just saying the majority of the games that we have won this season was off the back of ball movement. We realize that now. We have to come to accept that now. Julius Randle has to come to accept that now, because it's not about you. You have to pass the ball. You have to get your other teammates open. And the way that you're trying to get your teammates open is not the way that it's supposed to be. He'd do a soft screen with Evan Fournier, and Evan Fournier dude just goes right past Julius Randle and is back on Evan Fournier again. So what do they have to do? They have to do double screens. So where he comes back, why can't you set that tough screen from the jump? What do Julius do when he give you a screen? He'll give you a little screen and then move so you can pass the ball to him. So he's more liable to take the 3 shot or drive to the basket. That's not how you play basketball. White Falcon said Julius passes a lot in the first half of the game, but the second half is his. It wasn't evident tonight. I mean, let's be honest. In the first quarter, what did we see? We seen a whole lot of ISO play from Randle that got us nowhere. What was the main things that hurt us in the second half was when Fred VanVleet poked those 2 balls from his hand. Pause. You get what I'm saying? So how can the second half be his if the first half ain't yours either? Julius Randle is not the same player that we witnessed last season. His game is not as efficient as it was last season. players have begun to figure Julius Randle out. So, what can we do to combat that? What can we do to make our offense more better to where it's not so lackadaisical and it's not so ISO play? We have to give the ball to RJ Barrett. White Falcon said, "Yes, he is, man. I mean, yes, he is to what, bro? I don't understand. He has no defenders. RJ. So you're saying, so White Falcon, you're saying that RJ Barrett hasn't turned into a good defender? Hmm? Is that what you're saying? Now I could see if you're saying that when it comes to Evan Fournier, but I can't see you saying that when it comes to RJ Barrett, um, Alex Burke, Mitchell Robinson, Nerlens Noel, even Obi Toppin has raised his level of defense. So where are you getting that you said so you said RJ is the only defender. So you don't we didn't trade anybody. If you're referring to Reggie Bullock left on his own free will. Even Elfrid Payton left on his own free will. Even um even Frank Ntilikina left on his own free will. We didn't trade anybody. Who did we trade? I don't know. You tell me, buddy. You get what I'm saying? The basis of what I'm trying to say is what the Knicks need to really do right now is to either trade Evan Fournier or move him to the bench. I don't think it's bad luck. I just think it's Evan Fournier. I have to be honest. He does not fit well with this team, offensively and defensively. You get what I'm saying? Now, I guarantee if we didn't get Evan Fournier and we kept Bullock on the starting lineup and still added Kemba Walker, I guarantee the Knicks will be one of the top teams in the East, if not the top. If we never got Fournier, I can guarantee you the Knicks will be a top team. But we have to realize that that's what they did. So I'll ask you, do we Fournier is playing at the shooting guard spot? And should he play as a small forward? No. Why? Because he's not strong enough to play at the small forward. He's fast enough to keep up with them, if that's what you're saying. If you're saying that we should move Evan Fournier to the small forward spot because he's more quicker than your average small forward, then yes. But in addition to that, he's also smaller because Evan Fournier is only about 6'6". So that's why, if not, he about 6'5", 6'6". I'm not sure. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I just know Evan Fournier. What is Evan Fournier? He's 6'6". Evan Fournier is 6'6". On the season, he's only averaging. And so to answer your question before I start rambling, no, I wouldn't like Evan Fournier playing at the small forward spot. Nah, man, I'm looking at the stats right here, bro. Evan Fournier is 6'6", 205 pounds. my guy. And I think that DeRozan is about 6'7". That's what I think. I think DeRozan is about 6'7". I don't think that Evan Fournier is the same height as him. Yeah. And I believe he might be even shorter than that because RJ Barrett is taller than Evan Fournier. And if you're saying RJ Barrett is 6'6", which it does say RJ Barrett is 6'6", then Evan Fournier might just be 6'5", because you could look on the court and see that RJ Barrett is taller than Evan Fournier. White Falcon says, did we overpay Fournier? I don't believe that we overpaid him. I believe that he has a contract friendly. I think he has a tradable contract. I believe he's on a friendly deal. He's only making around what? What is Fournier contract about? 17, 18 million per year. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, he's not. We're not overpaying Evan Fournier right now. I don't believe that. You get what I mean? I believe that we pay him exactly what he was worth for what we seen from him last season. And I believe that he still has a tradable contract, because if you're really looking at the game, it's not so much about his offensive skill, it's about his offensive fit. He doesn't fit with the team. You get what I'm saying? Fournier needs, I don't know. I think I don't know. I just don't feel that Evan Fournier fits with the team. You get what I'm saying? But I'm not going to hold you guys too much. I've been going on for a little over an hour. And I just want to say to you guys, if you're new to the channel and you appreciate my work and you want to support, I ask you to please do me a favor by subscribing. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. If you are already subscribed, how about you do your boy another favor and, share this out and bring some people. White Falcon said, great job with this, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. And I definitely appreciate you staying active in the comments. And I definitely appreciate you tuning into my channel. We didn't get that many people in here tonight, but I'm okay with that because I believe that I really got my words across in what I wanted. But it was a heart-fought loss. We're down to 12 and 14, 2 games under 500. And this is something that we're going to have to live with right now. Hopefully, the Knicks can come back from this. I like the comeback that the Knicks did have. I felt that it was a couple of mishaps that made the game, more. I felt that there was certain things that the Knicks did that made the game more harder than what it was supposed to be, especially with our defense, especially with them switching and with the smaller guarding Siakam, and them leaving Fred VanVleet and Gary Trent open. Oh, I'm always remember PG-13, bro. White Falcon says, remember PG-13. And trust and believe, I will. I will remember PG-13. But I just want to again thank you for joining me, man. And I hope everybody is able to, get over this and just enjoy the rest of your night and enjoy the rest of your weekend. We have a game against the Milwaukee Bucks on Sunday. Trust and believe, I will be filming. I will be doing another live stream. So if you're enjoying this and you have enjoyed it, make sure that you stop by on my next live stream. Trust and believe, I will be dropping my regular videos. I gotta drop a regular video for you guys instead of going live, because that's really what I love to do. I love to drop videos, but I also like to go live and be able to connect with you guys because that's what matters. You guys getting your point across and me getting my point across, and we all melting it together and getting our point across. Because at the end of the day, there's certain things that I see that other people don't see, and there's certain things that other people see that I don't see. So when still sharpens still, and we could come in and we could all converse about the Knicks, a team that we are passionate about and a team that we love, is always and always will be great. And like I said, I want to thank you guys for joining me. If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification button. Link in with your boy on Twitter at OU a Knicks fan. OU a Knicks fan page. Trust and believe. You type that in, you will find me. And remember to always lead by example.